Hey guys, so welcome back to another episode of Going in Blind. So yeah, this is gonna be one of those Final Fantasy 15 themed decks, and this time it's gonna be the Wind Earth Noctis. And as you can see, there's plenty of card selection for Noctis and his buddies, so this is gonna be a very on point deck. It's very thematic, and mechanically it's very adhesive to itself. So yeah, our leader is gonna be Noctis, and so Noctis is a 4th cost card, and it's a prince. It says when Noctis enters the battlefield, you may search for one job retainer and add it to your hand. So when a wind and earth forward other than Noctis enters the battlefield, choose one forward an opponent controls. The forward that enter the battlefield deals damage equal to its power to the chosen forward. So basically fight. So this effect will trigger only once per turn. Pretty cool stuff. We also have Iris, which can be the backup commander, even though this game doesn't have commanders necessarily. Iris also costs 4 on both elements. It says when Iris enters the field, choose up to 2 wind backups you control and up to 2 earth backups you control and activate them. So basically untap. And then a 1 wind mana and 1 earth mana, CP, and select one of the 2 following actions. Either Iris gains 2000 power until end of turn, or it cannot be blocked by a forward with power 9000 or more, so only by 8000 or less. Pretty good stuff. It's got built-in protection, and it's coming in and untapping stuff. So I'd say all in all, that's pretty good stuff. That's going to be ramp, and that's also going to be defense. So it undulls other stuff, which means that if it undulls stuff, people that are dulling them and freezing them are going to have a harder time. Iris is kind of countering that sort of ice mechanic, you know? We also have Iris on one color though, the Wind Iris backup, which is going to be whenever a category 15 forward enters your field, activate Iris. Okay, so whenever you play something, this is actually going to cost you 1 less because you can dull her again to make 1 more CP. So everything costs 1 less, and you play it, it's category 15 like everything else. It untaps Iris, you play whatever, you tap Iris to pay it, untaps, tap Iris, untap, tap Iris, untap. So it's gonna make you cost 1 less for every single card that you play in this game. So that's gonna be a triple. Everything here is a triple playset, by the way. We also have the rest of the Noctis guys. So we have a 2, a 3, and a 4/1. The 4/1 is actually a backup. The 2-cost Noctis says when it enters the battlefield, reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, add 115, everything, card among them to your hand, and return the other cards to the bottom of the deck in any order. So kind of a scry. And then you can sacrifice an Arden from your hand and pay 1 earth CP, choose 1 monster, and break it. The 3 Noctis is going to be when Noctis enters the battlefield, choose 1 forward. Until the end of turn, it gains 2000 power and brave. Whenever Noctis is put from the field into the break zone, you may put 1 character you control into the break zone. When you do so, play Noctis from the break zone. It enters the battlefield dull. Noctis gains 2000 power, and it's only until the end of turn. Okay, so a lot of ETB going on, right? You finally have 4-cost Noctis, which is going to be a backup, and you know, backups will just tap for mana, but then you can tap it for putting it into the break zone. Choose 1 category 15 forward of cost 5 or less. All of them except for this Prompto. Sounds good. And then in your break zone, play it onto the battlefield. So this is actually graveyard recursion, and then you can only use this ability during your turn, so you can revive stuff. That's pretty good. Except for this Prompto, you're reviving everything else right there. So that's pretty good news right there. We also have Gladiolus, 5 and a 4, both are forwards. So the 5-cost one says if you control a card named Noctis, the cost required to cast Gladiolus is reduced by 3. Wow, so it was a 5, it's a 3 now if you have Noctis, of which we have 4. Nice. Then if it deals damage to a forward, the damage is increased by 2000. And if you have damage 3, he gains power 1000 and brave as well. That's pretty good stuff. Then the 4-cost Gladiolus is going to be, you can only pay with Earth CP to cast Gladiolus, but the majority here is Earth, so it's not a problem. And if you have a card named Noctis, the cost required to cast Gladiolus reduces by 2, so this is also going to be a 2-cost Gladiolus. Nice. You can sacrifice another Gladiolus from the hand to activate the special ability, and then pay 4 CP. and tap it to deal 7,000 damage to all the forwards the opponent controls. Okay, so this is gonna be removal. This is gonna be buff. The Noctises are going to be searching and helping out everyone, I think. So let's see, the retainers are not really helping Noctis. They're more going off of what Noctis being there can do for them. So we'll see about that. We got the Prompto saying if you control a card named Noctis, this is a 2 forward Prompto. If you control a card named Noctis, a Prompto gains 3,000 and haste. And when he attacks, if you control an Ignis and a Gladiolus, draw 2 cards. Okay, so they, you know, Backstreet Boys, you know, they want to be together. They're back, all right, you know. So yeah, if you got damage 3, when Prompto enters the battlefield, you can search for a card named Noctis, Ignis, or Gladiolus. So if he is not with all his squad, he's gonna get it. So that's pretty cool. Add it to your hand. Then you got the other Prompto, which is the cost 2 backup. So it's gonna be the wind one. When Prompto is put from the field into the break zone, draw 1 card, and you can actually put it yourself into the break zone by tapping it and paying a wind CP and choose 1 forward. During this turn, the next damage dealt to it is reduced by 5,000. Okay, so we got defense right there. That's nice. Then we have a 6 cost backup Prompto, which is going to be EX card. I wonder what EX means. But yeah, when Prompto enters the field, choose 1 forward opponent controls, and if your opponent controls 4 or more forwards, remove it from the game. Whenever a Prompto enters the field, choose 1 forward an opponent controls and break it. Okay, so he's got removal, he's got search, and he's got protection. Nice, Prompto's doing well so far. Let's check out Ignis now. We have a 4 cost forward Ignis, that's wind, saying card name Noctis, Gladiolus, and Prompto you control gain. This character cannot be chosen by your opponent's abilities. Nice, another built-in protection, and they're all going to be covered except for Ignis because he doesn't protect itself. So all the Ignis are not protected by Ignis, but all the other guys are protected no matter what kind of situation they're finding themselves in. You got when Ignis or card name Noctis you control attacks, activate all the characters you control. Whoa, okay, so you attack and then they will untap themselves. That's pretty cool. Then we got another Ignis that's a 5 cost forward saying EX burst, and when Ignis enters the battlefield, you may search for 1 card named Noctis and add it to your hand. A category 15 forwards other than Ignis you control gain 1,000 power and brave, and it also has a sacrifice ability or a special ability, which is going to be you pitch an Ignis from your hand, pay 1 earth CP, then choose a forward, deal it 4,000 damage for each category 15 forward you control. What? The whole deck is a forward that's 15. Well, not a forward, but category 15. So that's pretty bonkers. That's bonkers. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. And these are all playsets, so that's 33. 33 out of 50 is a pretty big chunk. You know, that's 60% of the deck right there is going to be affecting with Ignis's ability. That's pretty cool. So then we got another cost 5 Ignis that's Earth. It's a forward too. So when Ignis enters the battlefield, you may put 1 backup you control into the break zone. When you do so, choose 1 forward and break it. Oh, nice removal. When a backup you control is put from the field into the break zone, choose 1 forward into the break zone and add it to your hand. Oh, so recursion. It's got removal, it's got recursion, and add it to your hand. This effect will trigger only once per turn during your turn. So what we got remaining is Core, Claris, and Regis. So Core is going to be a 2 cost forward saying if you control a card named Regis, Core gains 2,000. Whenever Core or a 15 forward enters the battlefield, until the end of turn, he gains 1,000 more and Brave. Okay, so he's kind of there for himself, huh? He's the only captain in the deck, so kind of makes you think that's why. So let's read Regis since this guy references him. So Regis is a 3 cost backup, says whenever it enters the battlefield, search for 1 category 15 forward and add it to your hand. I don't think I would play Regis to search for Core to play Core. I don't think I would do that at all. I would get a Noctis and I would get a Gladiolus or a Prompto or an Ignis out. So there's plenty of those that are forwards. Regis is going to be very useful. It's our tutor. Claris, 4 cost backup, Chief Minister, and it says whenever Claris enters the field, you may search for 1 job king and add it to your hand. Okay. We have Prince, 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 Prince. And these are all retainer. Lucian, subject, captain. Oh, just one king, which is going to be Regis. So Clarus gets Regis, Regis gets Noctis, Noctis gets other people. A pretty good deal. So yeah, that's what the deck is going to do. We just double down, and this is what the deck already looked like for the most part. We just took away all the cards that weren't exactly 15 and got it all the way up to 50 count with playsets. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Is this viable? I think it's a pretty cool deck. I think it's extremely synergistic. So the flavor's there, the functions there, all the mechanics are super up to date because this deck has got less than 1 year. So yeah, let me know what you guys think on the comments, as well as like, share, subscribe, and follow for more, okay? So I will see you on the next episode, because there is not just one Noctis, but there's also two, and there's also two Ardens, so check those out as well. I will see you over there. Peace out.